This video will explain how to fill out your reading log. The first thing you want to do when you fill out your reading log each week is put the dates down. So, for instance, I'm filling this out for the week of September 23rd. So I would write 9/23. I would just go ahead and write all the dates for the week to get that part over with. And then down there I'd write 9/27. Okay, title and author. The title of the book I'm going to be writing about is The Giver. I'm going to do this on something we've all read together. You have to make sure you underline the title. It is the title of a book. That will reduce your credit if you have not done that, so make sure you always underline the title. The author of this book is Lois Lowry. You only need to write it in the first box if you're reading the same book all week long. If you finish one book and start another book during the week, then you'd want to note that on the day you start the other one, but otherwise you can just put an arrow going down to show me you've read the same book all week. Summary of nightly reading. Use complete sentences. That means you need to have capitals. That means you need to have periods. I also want you to notice it says sentences. I want to see more than one sentence per night. If you're doing minimal work on this part, expect a minimal grade. So I'm going to sum up chapter 1. I'm going to pretend that I read chapter 1 as my homework for the night. So I know that chapter 1 was about Jonas. In chapter 1, it starts with him thinking about some memories he's had about times that he felt frightened. Then his family shares, he goes home and his family shares concerns and feelings that they've had throughout the day. And when it gets to be his turn, he's decided that he feels apprehensive about December and a ceremony that's coming up. So I would put Jonas. I'm going to explain who Jonas is. Sorry, the main character is walking home and trying to figure out how he feels. He thinks back to previous experiences and finally decides he feels apprehensive. Now you're going to notice I'm going into Tuesday's area. That's because it's really hard for me to write small on the smartboard. If I was writing this with a pencil, I could fit it all in one box. I only have one more box to fill in. At home, he shares his feelings with his family. That basically sums it up. So I don't want lots of details. I understand your space is limited, and I don't want this to take you a lot of time at night. But you do need, so I've got 3 sentences, a pretty decent idea of what happened in the story. Okay, then for word and page number, you can have an unknown word or you can have an interesting word. You cannot leave it blank or put, I knew all the words. So in this chapter, one of the words that was really important was apprehensive. Even if I know what that word is, it's a good word choice. I may not know everything about that word, and it seems like it's very important to the chapter. It was on page 4 in the book. One thing that I'd like to note about unknown or interesting words is it's handy to have your reading log with you while you're reading, so that if you come to a word you don't know, you can just go ahead and jot it down and then continue reading instead of having to go, okay, what page was that on again? I know I saw a good word, but I can't find it. It makes it harder that way. If you do it while you're reading, sometimes it makes it a little bit quicker. That is how to fill out your reading log. Please feel free to contact with me with any questions about your reading log each night. Happy reading!